So, what are the investors at the Nigerian equities market really thinking at this time? We've seen the market falter in recent times. Let's talk to the head investment research at AfriInvest, Robert Omotunde. Good morning, Robert. Thank you very much for coming through to us.
Thank you, Chimeze. Good morning.
So tell me, what factors have majorly driven the performance of equities so far in the year? What are investors thinking at this time?
Well, the liberalization of the foreign exchange market, which happened in April when the investors and exporters window was created, had majorly been the main catalyst for the equities market in the year. We've seen that the market had rebounded from a negative of over 7% to as high as 42.1% before now currently moderating to about 31.7%. Clearly, the underperformance of the equities market in 2016, which was a backdrop of the economic recession that the country suffered, plus a cocktail of other macroeconomic headwinds that pressure the performance of companies, we've seen that reversal so far in 2017. And investors currently are just mainly trying to position and watch the performance of the market before they think of the next move to make. But clearly, most sectors have benefited from the positive momentum which we have seen so far in the year. Now, we just think that investors are trying to be cautious, because if you analyze the performance of the market relative to other markets within the region, you will see that clearly that the Nigerian market has performed creditably well. But investors, we just want to be cautious, because it seems that the valuation of the market, which was at about just about 12.5 times at the peak of the lull we suffered in the market, had improved to, at a point it was as high as 14 times price to earnings, but currently has moderated to 13.3 times. But investors will be expecting the earnings release for third quarter. You will notice that what has driven the performance of the market, especially in the last 1 month, have been the earnings releases, mostly from the banks and, of course, other sectors that return very positive performance. So, but the major catalyst that the market will be expecting, at least in the medium or short to medium term, will be the third quarter earnings, which would likely expect to be positive.
Now, is there any downside risk to the current market optimism, and how can this be mitigated?
The only risk that we can foresee for now is the operation of the foreign exchange markets. So far, since April, the central bank has done well in sustaining the upbeat performance, especially in flushing the system with so much liquidity, and this has stabilized the operations of the market, especially from the investors and exporters window. Even from the interbank window, we've seen some form of flexibility returning. And that's why you will see that the convergence of the parallel market and the official market has been kind of thinning out. So for us, we think the major downside could be any shock that could affect the earnings from oil, for example. If we see a major downside impact on global oil prices, which in turn would affect the earnings capability of government, then we may see a retracing of steps, especially at the rate of intervention of the central bank. But even if that happens, if the market determined system is allowed to continue to operate, we will still expect that in any case, this should not significantly drag the performance of the market. But if anything will tinker with the current operations, which the market perceives to be freely determined by the forces of demand and supply, then we'll begin to see another reversal in terms of sentiment, but we do not expect that the authority would toe that line at this time.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Robert. Robert Omotunde is the head investment research at AfriInvest.